Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the third chapter from the book Footprints Without Feet, and this chapter is The Midnight Visitor. Oswald, a secret agent, is expecting to get a very important report. Another agent, Max, threatens him with a pistol, demanding the report of the story. The story tells us how Oswald outwits Max by making up convincing stories. Now, this is in very short. I have given the introduction that there are two characters, in fact, three characters. Oswald, who is a secret agent, and he is expecting some very important report. And there's another agent, Max, who has quietly got into his room without permission, and and he's got a pistol in his hand, and under the threat of the pistol, he is threatening Oswald with his pistol and demanding the report. But Oswald, being an experienced agent, outwits Max by just talking to him and convincing him, making him believe his story. Now, the key points of the stories are: Oswald was a secret agent, but he didn't look like that. He was very fat, but not much tall, but he was much alert in his mind. Now, why does the writer say that Oswald was a secret agent, but he didn't look like that? Secret agent, but didn't look like that. Why? Because through our movies, through our other stories, through the other characters of the detectives, we have stereotyped as secret agents that they should be fast, they should be smart looking, they should be lithe, they should be slim and tall, dashing looking. But these are the things that through the movies and through other storybooks we come to know. We have formed a image of a secret agent. But Oswald was just the opposite of it. He was very fat, not much tall, but he was much alert in his mind. Though he was not very physically, he was not very fast. He could not move fast because he was fat. But he had a very agile and alert mind. Oswald had a room on the sixth floor of the French hotel, and Oswald had a room on the sixth floor of the French hotel. Fowler was a writer. Oswald told him that he would get an important report that night concerning some new missiles. This report could change the course of history. Now, Fowler was a writer, and he had come the whole day he had spent with Oswald, expecting that some kind of action would, interesting action or fast action would take place, because he knew that Oswald was a secret agent, and considering that secret agents had all the in movies and all, they had all the action going around them. He also expected that something with Oswald around Oswald would go. There would be some movies, there would be some secret talk, there would be some beautiful girls passing on the message and all that. So he stayed the whole day with Oswald to see how Oswald works. But Oswald told him there was nothing of that kind. Oswald's life was very simple, and nothing of that kind happened as Fowler expected. So he was a bit unhappy, disappointed. But Oswald told him not to worry, because that night he was to receive a report about some new missiles that would change the course of history. Now, Fowler saw Max, another secret agent, who threatens Fowler with a pistol demanding the report. Now, when they go back to Oswald's room, and when they switch on the light, they are taken aback why there is another secret agent, and he is already in the room without the permission of Fowler. Without their being aware about him, he is there in the room, and he has got a pistol in his hand, and he is demanding the report. Oswald handled Max cleverly. He told Max that he would complain to the hotel authorities about the balcony, which should be closed immediately. Now, Oswald, to save himself, he knew that Max is quite dangerous with the gun in his hand, so he makes up a story that there is a balcony just outside his window, and that the hotel authorities are not taking care about the balcony. and he made Max believe that there is a balcony, and that instead of breaking into the room, instead of using a key and somehow coming into that room, he should have used the balcony to come in, because previously also some people had got into his room through the balcony. So the story, so convincingly he tells the story, that Max comes to believe that there is really a balcony. There was a loud, at the same time, there was a loud knocking at the door. Ozable smiled and told that was the police. Now, there was a loud knocking at the door, and Ozable smiled and told Max that the police had come. He had called the police to check because he was to receive a very important document that day. So he had asked the police to come and check him after every few hours. Max got nervous. His face was black with anger. Max had never expected this, and he became nervous, and his face became black with anger. He asked Ozable to send the police back, and he told Ozable that send the police back or he would shoot them. In the meantime, he would go to and wait in the balcony. And he said that while Ozable was talking to the police, he would go into the balcony. He had taken, in reality, he had believed that there was a balcony just outside the window. And he said that he would go and stand on the balcony. Max jumped into the balcony and fell right down. And Max, through the window, he wants to slip into the balcony, but as soon as he puts his leg out of the window, he falls right down on the concrete floor, and he dies there. Now, what is the theme of the story? The story, A Midnight Visitor, revolves around the image of secret agent that people generally carry. Now, this is the theme, the story is about the image of the secret agent that people generally carry. We have seen so many movies of James Bond and the other movies where the secret agent is a very handsome, smart, very fast in his actions, and he can fight for himself, he can shoot, he can wrestle with the other person. So he is very lithe, he is very fast in his actions. So this whole story is made around this, that what we expect, it's not necessary that it comes true. What we expect from that, what we have got an imagination in our mind, it's not necessary that. And for some job, a physical appearance is not that important as mental agility that people generally carry. They expect an element of thrill and a fast-paced life with a dash of glamour and danger. Now, what do they expect with secret agents? They expect an element of thrill and a fast-paced life, a life which has a lot of fast actions with a dash of glamour, and there should be all glamour and, of course, danger there. The writer has highlighted qualities like presence of mind and sharpness that a secret agent must have for success and survival. Now, what the writer has mentioned here, what he is trying to bring up, that it is not the physical qualities, but it is the mental qualities that is needed for a secret, that makes a secret agent smart and successful. And what are they? The presence of mind and sharpness. He should have the presence of mind and the sharpness, and this is very well brought out in this story, that a secret agent must have for success and survival. The looks and the lifestyle are irrelevant and irrelevant and in all likelihood counterproductive, because a secret agent should be as inconspicuous as possible. So here what is the writer trying to say is that a secret agent, for his success, must have the sharpness. He need not be handsome, he need not be very fast in his actions, but he should have a sharpness of mind like Ozable had. Sitting on the chair, he was able to kill his enemy because of his sharpness of mind and because of his presence of mind. And looks and lifestyle is not important for a secret agent. because he has to be inconspicuous. Inconspicuous means not noticed by the other. People should not notice him because of his looks, because he should look like a very ordinary man, so that no one pays any attention, or he doesn't catch the attention or the eye of the other. Now, there in this story, there is the significance of the balcony. There is no balcony, but yet he has cooked up a story. Ausable has made up a story about the balcony, and it is this balcony, this story about the balcony, which saves his life as well as Max's life. Because, not Max, because of Fowler's life. Because he knew that Max was dangerous with the gun in his hand, and he would not wait a moment to kill them to get the report, the secret report. So very cleverly he makes up a story about the balcony, and it is this balcony which saves their life. The significance of the balcony is quite clear in the story. Actually, there is no balcony. It is just a clever strategy used by Ausable to outwit Max. Ausable created the balcony which did not exist, so as to dupe Max and the police. So he created the balcony to outwit Max, who was there with a gun, and he would not stop a minute to shoot them. So that was the only way. With his wit, with his cleverness, with his sharpness of his mind, he has saved himself and also Fowler. Thank you very much. We'll do in the next session, in the next class, we will do the character sketch, the title, and the message of the story. Thank you very much.